Happy Friday, Twitch, YouTube. This is gonna be a vintage preliminary. I don't know why. I'm really tired, but I'll do our best. We're doing something a little off the beaten path of what I like to do today. We're gonna play some fair rug deck. I'm trying to port. I think it's called Pokepile from Legacy, where you're playing like a Delverless Delver with Stifles and Dreadhorde Arcanists. Um, I played a league with accidental 61 cards yesterday to a 4-1 almost 5-0, and I was pretty happy with it. Uh Obviously the engine of Dreadhorde Arcanist, Mystic Sanctuary, and Ancestral Recall is just completely broken. And this isn't even like the best deck utilizing it. But even then, like, I was completely in awe on how stupid that was. And I've played against it a lot, but doing it for yourself is a different feeling. Um Yeah, this deck doesn't have any Hullbreachers because it just beats Hullbreachers. Like, you're playing 3 Lightning Bolt, 3 Pyroblast. Like, if people are playing Hullbreachers against you, you're just super happy. They're turning on your Lightning Bolts and they don't do anything, and they're just really, really bad. So this deck does kind of prey on the Hullbreacher decks pretty well. I do think Stifle's like kind of reasonable right now. There's a lot of fetch lands that get stifled, and then there's Doomsday. It's very good against, and it can help against like Flusterstorm and Brain Freeze, and just attacking mana bases right now I think is pretty powerful. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm feeling really out of it right now, but hopefully we can just try to focus and play well. I don't know why. Round one for this vintage prelim versus Diamond. Be on the play. Yep. I think you don't want to go all in on like those kind of cards, Lanzer. I think you want those. I don't think you want those cards to be your primary game plan. I think those cards should be part of like a supplementary plan to your primary plan. Like, I think when you start like throwing in like 4 Hullbreachers and making your deck built around that kind of interaction, it makes your deck fairly weak against decks that don't really care about drawing. So I think you kind of want like Opposition Agent, Notion Thief, Hullbreacher to be like small plan Cs or nice to haves, but not your primary game plan. You can find the deck list in the Cardboard Live. I just went over it. It's like it's basically just a normal rug list in vintage, except you're playing you're heavily focused on 5 wasteland effects plus 3 stifles as a gotcha. Just sorry, I don't know what the hell's going on with me right now today. Really out of it. Yeah, we're not on 4 Arcanist, 4 Spree, Basic Mountain, and we have a couple of each of those, but so Diamond lost connection to the game a little while back, so they probably lost connection again. So we're just chilling, waiting for Diamond to come back. Oh, I don't. I just like. I think that playing 4 Breachers is just a mistake, and you're just playing the flavor of the month, and I don't think it's very good. All right, they're back. I'm only getting to 6 cards. I think when you start putting cards like Wheel of Fortune and Time Twister into real decks, your decks become worse. I don't think Wheel of Fortune and Time Twister are cards that you should really be playing in 2020 with the introduction of Force of Negation. That's just my opinion, though. Could change. I am just gonna fetch Island and Ancestral here. No, I definitely think the deck that I did well with last week was not good at all. I think it was just like an inferior version of playing Rug with Managorger Hydras. Yeah, I thought the Hullbreachers were like probably the worst part of the whole deck, which was kind of funny. I think the Managorger Hydras were the best part of the deck, and then like obviously the Xerox engine was great. Not a full Xerox engine because it was on multiple Moxen, but yeah, I would say that the Rug Breacher deck is just not that good. So we got Time Walk and Force of Will for Ancestral. Obviously, it puts us a little bit of an awkward spot, but we do have a Preordain to help us draw into lands before playing Dak Fadens. Yeah, that's not happening. Opponent had a pretty solid hand, huh? Force, Ancestral Walk. Not bad. So we're both on one land, 3 or 4 cards in hand. Interesting that opponent chose to force my Ancestral. It feels like an Ancestral that you could let resolve. Well, we really need lands, but with an Underground Sea, I don't hate the idea of having a Force of Will. It's just we have no plays. Maybe I actually think we just can't keep this Force of Will. I think we have to find lands no matter what so that I can play a Dak Faded and get rid of these Lightning Bolts, especially if opponents on like, I don't know, Doomsday. I want a Force of Will, but I just think I'm supposed to put them away and try to find lands. Even a Wasteland here is like quite good. Cold? I mean, opponent might not have other lands either if they kept an Ancestral hand, and they don't. They don't have any other lands. So this is going to be a pretty weird game as both of us kept Ancestral hands and neither of us resolved Ancestral. So it's going to be pretty awkward for the first couple turns. That's a good draw, though. Now, if next turn we can just draw a fetch land and then get rid of, like, Dak Fade and Lightning Bolt, I'll be pretty happy. Yeah, I don't see any reason to brainstorm right now, especially when I have a lot of value tied up in the ability to fetch away with this brainstorm. Oh, they found a volcanic island. Okay. Strong draw. That's fine. We'll just play it. And they ripped 2 lands off the top. I guess the question now becomes, if I do hit a fetch land, am I brainstorming? Or am I just jamming a Dak Faded? I'm probably just jamming a Dak Faded. I think opponent will Pyroblast my Dak Faded. So having 2 Dak Fadens makes sense. And then if opponent doesn't have a Pyro, then we obviously just start getting incremental card, or not card advantage, but card quality. So Scourge of the Sky. Okay, so they're fetching to play around 4s. Like have double Pyroblast? No. Interesting. Oh, days. And mana drain? Really? Okay. I've been drained. Gonna lose to mana drain deck, huh? Is it gonna be Jace the Mind Sculptor in 2020? No, no one plays mana drain in 2020. So they've drawn land off the top, which is quite good. I guess we've also drawn land kind of with Sanctuary. Hullbreacher. All right, if they wheel here, it's very good because we're tapped out. But if they don't wheel here, then it's pretty useless. Just turned on our dead lightning bolts. But if they have mana drain into Breacher Wheel, obviously that's quite good. Okay, that's fine. Obviously, we're in a little bit of an awkward spot where I didn't know what my opponent was on, so I had to fetch Island for our Ancestral, but we're like pretty stuck on colored sources. If we have a green spell, not that there are any green spells in the deck, we can't cast it. And then if we had, I want to be able to cast like double Lightning Bolt, but yo, Stewie, appreciate that.
Congrats
Thank you.
on the partner and 1K subs.
Thank you. You're a powerful wizard. Appreciate the support. So like, if opponent DTs for like a wheel or a twister here, it's so bad. Because they're just giving me fresh cards, you know? No, they probably get baited by this Hullbreacher, right? That's annoying. That's one of my few green cards that we were talking about. I think I want to brainstorm and try to find a land before this wheel happens. Yeah, I mean, they should, but... Oh, I'm an idiot. The Hullbreacher is still in play. I forgot to kill it. Sorry. I just missequenced that. I'm like really out of it today. I'm sorry, chat. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I knew what I wanted to do. I just wanted to bolt it first. I'm really out of it. All right, well, now I gave them a wheel plus 3 treasure, so we probably just lose this game. Yeah, so they tutored for a wheel, which is just really, really bad. You know, you see what I'm saying though? Like, if I just lightning bolt this thing, like they tutored for a wheel, which doesn't make any sense, right? I am currently dead on board, but they're gonna give me 7 fresh cards and a chance to win this game. And this is like one of the big reasons that I don't like Hullbreacher. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about. So like, this is even worse if I had just like correctly sequenced my spells. And this is another reason why I think like these Hullbreacher like 4x decks are a huge trap. Like you don't want to play Wheel of Fortune in your deck. You want to just like have a Hullbreacher. Look at this hand. Like I went from having no chance of winning this game to an even board state. Like these like obviously they have 3 treasures here, which is very good for them. But they just shouldn't have any treasures, right? Because I had Lightning Bolt. So like I honestly think that the Demonic Tutor for the Wheel of Fortune is like a game losing play if I just obviously play correctly. So yeah, I saved my Lightning Bolt and my Red and 6 by playing around their wheel. That's exactly what we did. That's too funny. To be honest, it works out kind of, actually. Because now I can bolt another Hullbreacher. That's really funny, Tellytell. Yes. It wasn't a misplay. It was a complete outplay. I simply am on another level, chat. Jeez, I do need to hit land drops though. I'm just gonna cruise to start here. Like, obviously they have options, but I'm gonna leave Wasteland, Ancestral, and a Fetch Land for my Renin 6. Yeah, I mean, if I get drained, I get drained. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, I don't have the luxury of playing around stuff like that right now. Like, I didn't draw a Pyroblast. I have really bad mana currently because I fetched an island on turn 1 and then drew Sanctuary. So, and I don't have a Pyroblast in my hand. So, I really don't have, like, a lot of choices. Like, I think I still probably lose this game because I'm at such a mana disadvantage. But it's actually kind of unfortunate because if we had correctly resolved Brainstorm, we would have drawn Force, Merchant Scroll, Ponder. So we would have probably just forced their Twister and then won off of that. So just kind of a weird game. We wouldn't have hit land drop though, worth noting off that Brainstorm. All right, so you Mystical Tutored for Dig Through Time to get Flusterstorm to 3. Yeah, I guess that's whatever. I mean, I could pay, but I think I would rather just preordain and try to find more mana sources. I don't actually want more preordains. I just want more mana sources. Like, I think I have to jam Renin 6 as well. I don't think it's an okay situation because opponent is so overloaded on cards. Like, if they drew a bad wheel, we may be in okay shape. But I think because I gave them so much mana, not me, from the misclick, it's probably not a winnable game. I really don't think one Force of Will is going to get the job done, especially when opponent's probably playing a Pyroblast deck. So, I mean, there are definitely worse situations that could have happened here, but it's not the end of the world. But we are in we do have some problems here, and all of those problems just stem from me blanking out. So, drink more. We also have the problem that opponent knows we have a Force of Will. So, like, the only card opponent doesn't know about is Narset. So, like, opponent might play around double Force of Will, but it's not really likely. And I'm tapped out here because I think I have to be tapped out here. So I can't even, like, represent Pyroblast or anything. Or have, like, Lightning Bolt for another Hullbreacher. Like, if they go Hullbreacher, Time Twister, then, you know, it's a problem as well, so. But it's just mostly because we gave them 3 treasures, right? Like, if we didn't give them 3 treasures, then they can't do Mystic Tutor and Flusterstorm on my turn. And we get to draw 3 cards off of our Treasure Cruise. So it all kind of just stems from that one misplay. But like I said, this is a winnable game. Opponent, you know, was very greedy by Demonic Tutoring for Wheel instead of Demonic Tutoring for Cruise. Got baited by Hullbreacher, basically. All right, 5 cards left. Do they have a Sanctuary? Like, a Sanctuary is really bad for us too, right? No, they missed on land drops. So they have no lands, but no spells they want to play in their 5 cards? That is very odd. Could it be like all Force of Wills? Well, now I just want to wasteland some shit. We know they have Dig Through Time. I feel like they should have just dug then. And, like, hit a land drop. It's so weird. All right, well, I'm gonna. I mean, if they're not gonna play land drops, I'm just gonna start wastelanding. I thought we weren't gonna be on the wasteland plan because of how much moxin they had, but I might. Oh, they have gush. No, what's happening? Blue, Hullbreacher. Yeah, I don't care about that. Sure. All right, so maybe they just drew a bunch of Hullbreachers. No, I think I am going to scroll for a Force of Will. I might scroll for. Maybe I was supposed to scroll for a Flusterstorm for. I didn't want to get this Flusterstorm. Like I can pay for a Flusterstorm right now. Oh, now I'm gonna get punished, right? Well, now I'm gonna get punished because they're just gonna go all in on this whole breacher. I guess I can still go get another Force of Will if they have another counterspell here. Oh, now they're going to dig first. Yeah, so like I guess they just drew a Hull Breachers, which is like not very good, I guess. No, we know that they have dig. Okay, sure. We're pretty far from our own. Like we could tap 3, lose Ancestral and Wasteland to dig, but I don't really like that play. I wish I had just scrolled beforehand. The best play would have been to scroll, but I didn't want to play my Lightning Bolt into an open Flusterstorm was the problem. So they went down to Force here. All right, so this goes in my yard. So I can save my Wasteland now unless I want to hit I don't have Fluster in my deck, but I do have Pyroblasts, but I don't have any red mana. So I would have to hit. We don't have Fluster in our main deck. I have Fluster in my sideboard. We also can just play a Narset. We do have 2 Dazes in our deck. That's true. All right, yeah, that's fine. I just like I think it's still probably correct to not scroll first, to not turn on their Flusterstorm. But obviously we could have gotten some things to help play around it. We didn't have a Fluster in our deck to scroll for, so Fluster was one of my last cuts. Though I'm not really sure if I like it. I kind of wish I still had Fluster, but all right. I mean, I think with the fact that we have double days, I think I'm okay with just digging and leaving Wasteland. Gush, Strip Mine, Oko, Dreadhorde. I guess Gush Oko is Gush Uro is pretty good. But you can't really do any of this with the active Hull Breacher. Or you try to hope they don't have Time Twister in their hand. I guess we have to go Oko Gush. I guess we can just go Oko Dreadhorde is double Lancers. I just don't know how much the Hull Breacher matters, right? The Hull Breacher matters a lot if they have a Twister in their hand, but it doesn't matter very much if they don't have a Twister in their hand. I'm just gonna go with Dreadhorde Oko. No, sorry, Dreadhorde. Yeah, Dreadhorde Oko. All right, I definitely regret not scrolling to start here. This whole one volcanic has been really bad for us. We didn't even hit a Pyroblast off of that technically, so all right, that I don't care about that. Definitely, why do you need a strip mine? You just don't need a strip mine. We have a wasteland. I don't know why you need a strip mine. So they can put my Renisix to 1, which is fine. Oh, they're just going face. Okay. Wait, you can't go face here. Then my Renisix kills your Sprite Dragon. Um, think I just want to force. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but this is just this. I really think this is just a trap. Like this card is just so does nothing. It just does nothing, right? Like huge trap. I brainstormed into this by accident, and we're still going to win. Like they probably have to fetch an underground sea here, which we just wasteland as well. Sure. We actually got very close to lethal. If we had a Moxen to stand up. Hmm. Trying to figure out if there are any things that we can do that would really matter. I mean, to be fair, if they have like any spells, they yeah, I'm willing to fight over this. Lightning bolt wins. No, lightning bolt wins on the next turn. I guess we still probably want it. Lightning bolt is 3, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 damage if I wanted to with Ren. Put them to 1, turn off Force of Will. I don't want to show them Stifle at all. I don't really think that's necessary. Yeah, so obviously we made the brainstorm hiccup. But besides that, I think we played this game fine. It was a very awkward game. The opponent knows our full hand here. Oh, did I miscount here? I thought I could put them to 1. I guess I miscounted. I'm really, really not having it today. At least we have lightning bolt for. Oh no! I did. I have it. Yeah. So now they can't fetch or they get lightning bolted, and they can't force of will or they get lightning bolted. So it's a good spot to be in. They can't draw cards because we have the better Hullbreacher. I don't know. I guess I'm tired, Dante. I slept really well, so I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Sorry, chat. No reason to cast lightning bolt end of turn because they could have something like Flusterstorm. I wanted to try Stifles. I think they're okay right now. That's not lightning bolt. I should have cast this lightning bolt pre-combat. I'm really playing terribly. I'm so out of it. I have no idea why. I should have just played this lightning bolt pre-combat, and then they could flash it back if it got countered or something. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Holy shit. All right, let's try to think about this for a second. Let's pull together. We definitely want Pyroblast and Flusterstorm. It didn't seem like they were a Tinker deck. It kind of seemed like they were a Mana Drain deck, so I don't really think I want Collector Oof. I do think that a Tarmogoyf is probably reasonable here, though. They just probably don't have very many answers to it. Excuse me. There's probably just these cards, and then just gonna take out 1 Daze on the draw, and take out The island. Maybe I still want the island. I don't know. I think Goyf is a great sideboard stop. I think Goyf is a good sideboard card right now. Um, I don't. Yeah, Eric. Maybe. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing right now. I want to take out forces in these kind of matchups, but I don't think you can if opponent is trying to go so heavy on Hullbreacher combo. So I think I would rather just take. Maybe I can just take out one force. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe take out one stifle. It's not the best stifle deck. Yeah, Uro's fine. I mean, Uro's like great in these like as a just way to finish the game. But if I'm bringing in a Tarmogoyf, maybe I don't need an Uro. Possible. Uro's been quite good for me as a one of. I think if you try to, I think the thing is if you try to tech into Uro like any more than one, like two, then you run into problems with your delve spells. Whereas one Uro I haven't had too much problems with. I don't know. Let's try this. This seems fine. So yeah, obviously we played that game very poorly. But I think our deck was just like a lot stronger than our opponent's deck, so it kind of carried through. Obviously, opponent casting Wheel of Fortune for us was super, super good, which is the reason why I don't think you should be playing Wheel of Fortune. Hand's like not bad, hand's okay. That's pretty reasonable, Eric. I think that's pretty reasonable. Okay. No mana drains in this house. No mana drains in this house. Obviously, we're at a little bit of a tempo disadvantage here because we're on the draw and they have a Sapphire. But like my other play was either hold open, stifle, fluster, or cast preordain. I didn't think either of those were that good. Jeez. I mean, there's probably 3 Moxen in our opponent's deck. Kind of unfortunate for us, for sure. I'm gonna leave. Man, it's so awkward because I don't really have anything to protect with this Flusterstorm. I think I would rather just preordain and look for another land here. Hello, other lands. Yeah, I'm just gonna take both of them. That way we can start holding up next turn. We'll have Flusterstorm, Stifle, Lightning Bolt, which should protect us from most of the things opponent's doing. Yeah, that resolves. Opponent has 2 non-basics in front of us, so we'll Wasteland draws in the future, get better. Obviously, the 2 Sapphire Rubies are a little annoying, and I didn't leave in any ways to get rid of the Sapphires and Rubies. I guess I have Dak Vadens. Yeah, like, this is fine. Like, I just, like, my Lightning Bolt would be so bad versus my opponent's deck if they were playing, like, Grixis Tinker, right? If they're on, like, Grixis Tinker, and they just don't play these Hullbreachers, and they're just playing Tinkers instead, my Lightning Bolts are just dead. But instead, I can play this card that, you know, ends up being pretty, like, reasonable across the field, where it's going to help me in some of my weirder matchups, like Shops and humans and these kind of weird things. But it gets turned on against the blue decks, and I just think that's just, like, so bad. I'm just. Oh wow, they hit all 3 Moxen. Okay, well, the Stifle looks like shit though. That's for sure. And I'm not saying like Hullbreacher's a bad card. I'm not saying Hullbreacher's a bad card. I just think it's not a card you should be building your deck around. I think you should be fitting it inside of decks that are already reasonable. I'm just trying to show people like the downsides of playing this card because I think they're like much higher. Like there are like no downsides to playing Narsets. Like Narset is just a stupid broken card where there are like very huge downsides to playing Hullbreacher. I actually think Stifle, like I wouldn't be registering I wouldn't register the Stifle if I didn't think it was good right now, Eric. I think that it actually has a lot of versatility right now, especially with how broken Doomsday is. And I think the way people are constructing their mana bases right now is very vulnerable to a Wasteland Stifle deck. So I, yeah, sure. I mean, I wouldn't register if I didn't think it had some merit right now. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Wombo, I am still 6 minutes ahead of my opponent. Um, I'm actually just willing to let that get force, whatever. I don't really care. Oh, yeah, I mean, my deck doesn't win very fast. This is a true statement. Do I even want to cruise? Yeah, I guess I can pitch some of these cards if I overdraw. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, that's fine. I don't need a sanctuary in this game. I could. Yeah, that's just not happening. One of the downsides to me trying to play Stifle is now everybody knows that I'm trying to play Stifle. Yeah, I just don't want them to kill the Narset Wombo. Like your line is not you're not wrong about the Ren ping, but I think it's better here because I have no currently spells to get with my thing to just get my strip mine back. Yeah, opponent has had enough, even though they have all 3 Moxen. All right. Yeah. So, oh man, very weird game. Let me just like go get more water and just take a little walk, and then we'll try to play round 2.